Doing something a little different tonight on Breaking the News. We're featuring a story that our news partners at MPR did. Group homes are supposed to be places of care and protection for Minnesotans with disabilities, but an investigation from Minnesota Public Radio finds a surprising number of people have been dying in those group homes with very little accountability for the companies that run them. Here's MPR news reporter Ellie Roth.
And this is one of my favorite ones. This is our wedding photo.
The way Julie Riggs sees it, the state of Minnesota decided her husband's life was only worth $1,000.
That was a good day.
Julie and Ryan Riggs were both volunteer firefighters. They got married in 2021.
I'm glad you're all here to celebrate with me.
And 3 years later, Ryan got in a motorcycle accident and suffered a traumatic brain injury. When he woke up, Julie said he didn't know who she was.
He didn't know what he was doing. It was just weird. It wasn't Ryan.
Julie couldn't take care of Ryan on her own, so the staff at the hospital in St. Cloud recommended he stay at a group home called Fortunate Homes while he healed. That way, he'd be supervised around the clock. Ryan spent about 6 months at Fortunate Homes. Then, last September, staff there reported him missing. They figured out where he was, but it wasn't until 29 hours later.
Officer Wagner, record statement. How come the police are here today?
We called the police because we found one of our clients, Ryan, back in behind the garage, unconscious.
Ryan had been in the backyard nearly the entire time, and now he was dead. The medical examiner determined he likely died of a fentanyl overdose, but a state investigation said it couldn't rule out hypothermia. The temperature had dropped 45 degrees that night. Julie was stunned. She'd never known him to use opioids.
It's the worst feeling knowing that. I agreed to put him there because I was told that was the best place for him.
Deaths like Ryan's happen way more often than you'd think. State records show at least 50 Minnesota group home residents have died in the past 3.5 years. And in 19 of those 50 cases, including Ryan's, the state investigation found the group home or its staff neglected the resident. When that happens, the state can fine the group home, but those fines are often capped at $5,000 per violation. And in Ryan's case, the initial fine was even smaller, just $1,000.
That's the worst thing yet. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. How can somebody be worth only $1,000?
The state of Minnesota paid Fortunate Homes more than $20,000 a month to care for Ryan, or $764 a day. The fine amounted to less than 2 days' worth of those payments. Fortunate Homes is appealing the maltreatment finding. Its lawyer declined to comment. We asked the Minnesota Department of Health for an interview, and they sent us this statement. It said state law caps the amount it can fine facilities for maltreatment. And after we emailed them about Ryan's case and why the fine was only $1,000, they sent a letter to Fortunate Homes. The Department of Health said the original fine was an error, and they issued a new fine for $5,000, which is the most the law allows. For Julie, that's still not enough.
That's Ellie Roth from MPR. There was a short-lived effort at the Capitol this year to give the health department the power to impose larger fines for egregious incidents in which residents of group homes or other assisted living facilities die or are seriously injured as a result of neglect. But lawmakers behind it didn't get enough buy-in to that idea to get it passed.